Hey, what's going on, vets? Shout out to Howard for the article that he sent me today. It will be in the community page, and I will have a link to this article in the bottom of this video for those of you that want to go read the entire thing and check it out. But today I want to talk to you guys about two programs that some of you all are familiar with if you're my age or older. This is when the military was overmanned. They had too many people in, and they had two different programs where they would pay soldiers to leave the military. You guys probably remember this, right? So it depended on your job. So these two programs had two different acronyms. One was called the VSI and the other one was called the SSB. The VSI was Voluntary Separation Incentive, and SSB was Specialty Separation Benefits. Yeah. Sorry about that. And what it was is, depending on the job that you had, depending on the branch you were in. I know in the Army, they would take soldiers and offer them anywhere from $10,000 all the way up to $83,000, right, to leave, because they had so many people in that spot that they didn't need all those individuals. They were overmanned. So a lot of soldiers took that incentive. Here's the situation with that though. A lot of the soldiers were not explained. It wasn't explained properly at the time that if you take this incentive and you go apply for VA benefits, there's a law that clearly states you can't have this benefit, this separation money, and receive disability compensation at the same time. Now, what has been happening slowly, and it used to happen a lot back in the 2000s. I remember this because I was working there at the time. We would send out letters to veterans and telling them that they had to pay back this separation money that they got. Sometimes it would be $20,000, $50,000, whatever it was, right? And back then, they wouldn't give you the opportunity to work out a payment plan. They just take your whole check, right? And you wouldn't get a check until that amount was paid off. So people who were 100%, and let's say they owed 30,000, it'd be like 9 months, they wouldn't get a check. People who owed 20,000 and they were getting $500 a month, it would take at least almost 2 years for them to pay that off. So it was hell, right? Well, I was unaware. Well, I shouldn't say unaware. I knew this was happening, but I didn't know it was happening to the extent that it's happening now. So there's this group, this non-for-profit group, that's kind of a watch group, and they watch a lot of the things that the VA does. It's called the RAND Corporation. So the RAND Corporation did a study, and they can only go back to 2013 because the VA changed their record system back in 2013. But the person who went back and checked all the records determined that from 2013 all the way up to 2022, there's about 79,000 plus veterans who have been hit with having to pay back that money. Now, some of these people, it's been 30 years, it's been 20 years, it's been 15 years since they received that money. But I always tell you guys, I don't care what you owe, when you owe it. If the US government finds it, they're going to make you pay. So now these individuals are getting letters in the mail telling them, hey, you got this separation money back in 1990 or 1995 for 30K, and we need to take this money back. Now they're at least allowing them to set up payment arrangements, right? For some of these people, man, they got 50,000, 80,000. Now they're fully retired. This is their only source of income. So you talking 10 years, 15 years to pay this money back, that they're never going to get that full amount again, right? And then it's crazy how that works with the government. But like I tell y'all, man, they are bean counters. So anytime people are saying, well, they just sending all this money overseas. No, they're not. Our government does not do that. Our government does nothing that they're not benefiting from. They got to be getting something in return for giving out money. And what you guys, especially you guys who worked in supply, anything that's missing, we got to go collect. They're going to go collect. Now, for some of these people who had no idea this was a law, the VA made a clerical error because they were never supposed to get those benefits until that money was paid. How did it catch up with them? The PACT Act. The PACT Act. When people apply for the PACT Act, and the VA started doing this maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it used to be when you put in a claim, they wouldn't always go back and check your entire file. It used to be random. The last 5 to 6 years now, anybody who files a claim, they check your entire file for errors or anything that you possibly owe. So now, and me and Mike, I remember me and Mike had talked about this. This was during COVID. I had made a video talking about this because I had applied for the caregiver program, and they went through my entire file, and they'll send you a letter saying, yeah, we went back, checked everything, all your records, all your ratings are correct, everything is right. So this is where we are now. Then they'll take a look at your file. So you guys need to be aware of that as well. And I'm gonna do a separate video, or I'm gonna talk about that on Saturday Roll Call. But anyway, the PACT Act. So if this person had never filed with the PACT Act, they never would have caught that he got this incentive for separating from the military early, and he would never have to pay this money back. That's how they're catching some of them. Some of them are being caught because they filed a new claim. They filed a new claim now. They go back, they check their records. Oh, you got this separation money. Okay, we need to collect this back. So be careful out there, guys. Be careful filing claims. And again, I'm gonna talk about that more on Saturday. But I'm making this video to make you guys aware. If you or someone you know recently put in a claim or filed for the PACT Act and you receive that bonus to leave, okay, do not be surprised if you get a letter in the mail telling you you got to pay that money back. Now, what's being done about it? There's a representative in Arizona. I forgot his first name. Actually, I forgot his name completely, but there's a representative in Arizona. I'm trying to think of his name. Gallego. I think it's Gallego. I could be wrong. But anyway, he's a congressman. He introduced a bill back in 2022 to change this law so people who are already receiving these benefits don't have to go back and pay this money. That bill has never been voted on, has never had any movement in Congress. It's just sitting there, right? And as long as it's sitting there, the VA is going to do what the law says, which is collect this money back. Okay. This is no fault of the soldiers. This was never explained to them. The VA didn't catch it when they originally filed for their claims. And now they're going back 30 plus years in some cases, 15 plus years in some cases, 10 plus years in some cases, right? And it's causing hardship for a lot of people, because you got to imagine, if VA is your only income, right? And now they're saying, hey, we need to take $1,500 of your $3,700. So you done went from $3,700 to $2,200 a month for at least the next year to 2 to 5 years. That's a hell of a change, right? And that's another thing that I'm going to bring up Saturday. Living abroad and things like this happen. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a situation with Social Security for people who live abroad. If you didn't fill out a particular form, they cut you off. I was one of those individuals that they cut off. Luckily, I had other income coming in and it wasn't that big a deal for me. And then when I got my money back, they sent it all back, like 3 checks back, right? But these are things, bro, when you abroad and this is your only income source and you ended up getting separated early and now they got to take half your check, are you still going to be able to live abroad? Are you still going to be able to do the things that you're doing? Those are questions I'm going to ask on Saturday Roll Call. Okay, guys? But for now, that's it for this video. Hopefully this information was helpful to everyone. Shout out again to my man Howard for bringing this back up. I had talked about it in the past, but all those videos are gone from Markel's TV. And I have some, and I may start bringing some of those videos back from back then. But yeah, that's a real thing. So, I mean, if you have never received a letter and that's you, unless you got to file a claim for something, yeah, you might want to leave that alone. if that was you. If you got separation money and it's been a long time and you never got a letter in the mail, let sleeping dogs lie, okay? But that's it for now, guys. Hey, I appreciate everybody watching as always. And until the next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.